disappointments. You're one. The guy you made awkward eye contact with today is probably one. And anybody who has TikTok is definitely one. By the way, follow my TikTok. But the disappointments I'll be talking about today are truly bottom of the barrel. Not because they're straight up trash, but because they were so good and then they just For example, Gohan. When we first see Gohan, he's just a shy 5-year-old kid who can't really do much. But as the show goes on, we start seeing that Gohan's potential is like no one else's. And by the end of Dragon Ball Z, Gohan was nearly as strong as his dad. But then came Dragon Ball Super. And Dragon Ball Super, and my boy Gohan so damn dirty. He really went from being damn near the main character to being Japanese Steve Urkel in a green tracksuit. How do you opt out of being the strongest dude on the planet to go study bugs? Like, I know I'm not the coolest considering I'm out here reading manga and playing video games and shit, but bugs? But hey, at least we can say my boy Gohan got love at some point with that latest movie that just came out. But I can't say the same thing about the next person on this list. Or the next people, I should say. Everyone from Akame got killed. Alright, so to sum it up, everybody dies. Just don't watch this anime. Everybody died. And in gruesome ways too. I was like 11, 12, whatever I was, watching the latest character introduced this week get put on a freaking stick. That shit will scar you. And they were cool too. It's not like we had like a bunch of Yamchas running around or some shit. Everybody had their own little thing going on and they were all cool. And they all died. It's a disappointment. It's like, you know those fish you get from the carnivals that they just die within like 5 days? It was like them. They were carnival fish. And speaking of anime deaths, I have to talk about the next person, Rengoku. I can openly say the Demon Slayer movie was the first movie I've ever cried to. Okay, that's a lie. First one was probably like the Muppets movie or something. But aside from that, it was the Demon Slayer movie. And that was solely because of this man right here, Rengoku. Once I saw his name had Goku in it, I knew he'd be goated. And he was. He was powerful. He had a sad backstory. He was just all around an amazing character. And that's why it hurt so much when this man Akaza pulled up. Rule number 1 in anime. Once a dude starts monologuing to himself, it's over. And the worst part is, even though he killed him, Akaza's so cool. And knowing the author of Demon Slayer, he's probably gonna have a sad ass backstory too. Like, come on, bro. Why couldn't it have been like Urukadaki's old ass or some shit? I don't know. And then that scene of his dad crying, like, come on, man. Can't do this shit to us. But yeah, I'll never forget the author of Demon Slayer for killing off Rengoku so early. But honestly, Rengoku didn't even have it the worst. Cause I'd much rather die a cool badass hero who just happened to get turned into a donut than be like Rock Lee. Rock Lee is the sole embodiment of working hard in life sometimes won't get you anywhere. Cause this man used to put in that work. He was pretty much doubted from birth since he couldn't use ninjutsu. Ended up mastering the 8 gates technique, which is like really hard to learn. He whooped Sasuke. And Sasuke back then was him, like Himmy Himmel. And even after defying those odds, he had to fight Gaara. And the reason this fight is objectively top 10 best anime fights of all time is because of what Lee was doing. Lee was absolutely tossing Gaara's salad. Not the Urban Dictionary definition, but he was whooping his ass. And when it was looking like Lee was gonna win, Gaara broke the man's arm and leg. It was so bad that Lee was told he would never fight again. And even after all of that, Lee still made it back for the Sasuke retrieval arc. And you know, one would assume that he would keep up this pace in part 2, right? Right? No. Because in part 2, Lee was about as useless as Sakura. I think he was actually less useful than Sakura. Because at least Sakura, you know, she beat on Kaguya at the end. But Lee, I got you right now. I got a list right here of all Lee's accomplishments in Shippuden. Hold up. Okay, so there's nothing here. And I'm not trying to discredit the fact that he ended up becoming a Jonin. But when you compare him to guys like Guy, see what I did there? He didn't really do much. And that's every side character in Naruto. Yes, even Sakura. Most of them are just a victim of bad writing. Really? Only Shikamaru got like an ounce of love at the beginning of the show. And then y'all know what happened to Neji. So no hard feelings, my Rock Lee fans. At least y'all can say he wasn't the only one that got did dirty. He was just the worst one. Moral of the story, Promised Neverland season 2 was the most disappointing shit I've ever watched. My God, what that shit so ass.
I never miss. I never miss.